A while ago, I won this 2016 WRX Premium from a Coupe auction, and I've been going through it to fix everything that is wrong with it. In the last video, after replacing some parts, I got it back together, and it would not stay running. It would run with the mass airflow sensor disconnected, but it wouldn't stay on with it connected. So in this video, I continued troubleshooting the issue and see if there was something I did wrong when I was putting everything back together. I found a stock intake locally that I wanted to throw on to see if I would get a different reading on the mass airflow sensor when I tried to start it. Swap over to MAF Sensor, plug it up. Let's see, I'm not optimistic about this, but we'll see. I really don't think this will make a difference, but it's worth a shot. Nope. I'm still trying to find what I assume to be a vacuum leak. I just had the car on for a while, idling with the mass airflow sensor disconnected, and I heard a hissing noise. I listened a little more closely because I didn't hear anything up here, but I heard a hissing noise from this area. So it may be something to do with the PCV valve. A lot of the symptoms the car had before I replaced the turbo could have been PCV related. So I'm going to take the intercooler off again to get at the PCV valve. That should be it for the intercooler. And here it is. This is an area right up under the intercooler. Let's see if I can get this tube off and get a view of it. That's going to be very difficult. Take off this hose clamp too, because it may be easier just to pull the whole tube off. I did get the other side of the tube off. Let's see if I can just pull. It does not want to make it easy. Let me see if I can get a wrench on it. So I got a 19 millimeter on it. Let's see if I can crack it free. I think I got it. I think I got it moving. Would have liked to get the tube off and get a socket on there, but that didn't happen. All right, it's coming. It's coming. And it finally wants to come out now. Ugh. And there it is. Getting this old tubing off is difficult. I got it off. Let's see. It's kind of moving. Let's see how it compares to the new one. A definite difference, but I wonder if this could be my issue. I hesitate to put my mouth on this one and blow, but that sound versus that. Now I can feel something moving back and forth. It's definitely not as free as this. So I got some blue thread locker that I'm gonna throw on. Ooh, it's kind of runny. I'm gonna throw one here. And let's see if I can plug it in. Even though I got a socket that'll fit, the wrench is still better because there's not much room to ratchet in there. But I'll get it nice and snug. And I will be ordering a new hose for in here. But I really want to get an answer to my question today. So I think that is tight enough for this tapered thread. I'm gonna do one more snug down. I know my hand is gonna get in the way, but I'm going to put the hose back on. All right, let's put the intercooler on and see if anything changes. Well then, I am going to have to revisit things electrical because I don't know what else mechanical could be causing this. After a bit of reading and comparing and trying to figure all this stuff out, it is on the same circuit as the camshaft position sensor. So I ordered a new one of these. I am not a fan of just throwing parts at stuff, but sometimes that is the most efficient way to get something done. I'm gonna take this off and look at it. I've also unplugged this to see if it had any effect on the mass airflow sensor, and it did not. The voltage, while off with the ignition on, was the same. Actually, the Subaru manual says to remove the negative battery terminal before doing that kind of stuff. Even though I think it'll be fine, I didn't design this car. Ooh, interesting. No, it's just clean. It's fine. That's just oil. To my ignorant eye, everything in here looks good. I don't know if this is working properly, so I'll clean this up and see if the new camshaft position sensor helps at all. So I'm back from the store. I'm going to clean off this oil control valve a little bit. I don't think this was having a problem, but why not clean it? This is definitely cut rate brake parts cleaner. It's not doing what I expected it to do. Plug it back up. And I got a brand new camshaft position sensor, same Mitsubishi mark and everything. But it was the quote-unquote CarQuest brand. And an industry insider that I talked with last weekend was like, yeah, a lot of these parts all come from the same factory. They just get boxed differently. All right, let's see. It starts right up, but it continues to die. So I am still stumped. I did some looking around in the wiring diagram, convinced myself that everything seems to be in order. Even though it makes more sense to me that the mass airflow sensor should read 0 with it off, I still think it should idle, you know? But the car did sit for a long time, and I don't know how old the gas is. So I'm gonna try and put some fresh gas in it and see if that helps. I spilled a little bit, but that's why I got the tote. I don't even know if I can get gas in here. So I am below quarter of a tank, so I'm hoping adding this will help. I ain't gonna lie to you, I am stretching a little bit right here because it does run with the mass airflow sensor disconnected. But I'm just trying stuff. It's taking a while. Oop. Well, there's a little more in there. Well, it was worth a shot. So, I had to take a step back. The WRX is behaving as if there's a vacuum leak somewhere. And if I can assume there are no vacuum leaks on the intake side, what else can introduce unmetered air into the engine? Something that does that anyway. The EGR valve, exhaust gas recirculating valve. So I'm gonna look at that today. And that means the intercooler has to come off again because the EGR valve lives down there. Apparently there are some coolant pipes that are connected to the EGR valve, so I am going to drain some coolant. I went back and forth on draining the coolant or just pinching the hoses off, but this will just make it a lot easier. There'll be less in the way. The coolant is still draining, but this is pipe connected to the EGR valve, so I'm going to remove it. 12 millimeters. Ooh, I didn't realize the pipe had a part that went inside. Would you look at that? It is nasty. Next up are these hose clamps. Gonna remove these bolts to release this other pipe. Also seems to be a 12mm. What else do I gotta remove? There are 2 more bolts right up underneath it. Don't want to drop this. There's another one right beside it. Yeah, this is kind of weird and awkward to get to, because I definitely don't want to drop these little bolts. All right, so it should be free. Now I just gotta get it off these rubber hoses. So these are the coolant lines. There it is. I'm using this sheet from the manual, and I'm going to test the resistance using my multimeter. So from 2 to 1 and 2 to 3, it should be 15 ohms, give or take 2 ohms. And from 5 to 4 and 5 to 6, it should be the same. So let's see what we got. 2 to 1, 16, that's within 2 of 15. And 2 to 3, 15.6. All right. So 5 to 6, 15.9, and 5 to 4, 16.3. So the valve section, the electromechanical bit, is good. This is the tube, and my goodness, that is a lot of gunk. How this affects the car idling, I don't know. It should idle, that is nasty. Even though it makes sense that a stuck open EGR valve could allow unmetered air to get into the intake, I see no signs that this one needs to be replaced. So I guess I'm gonna reinstall it and continue the search. Get these tubes back on foist. There we go. Ideally, you'd use new gaskets here, but these gaskets are not the source of my leak, or my supposed leak. I really don't know what's going on. Now that I have a new way to test leaks with the vape, I'm gonna try it. Well, I blew the glove off, but I don't have any leaks. And I'm convinced that I am producing enough smoke. I don't like vaping, but it is a quick, useful tool. Something else that could cause it to not stay running would be an incorrect temperature that is used for fuel trims. Usually in my experience, that has been the coolant temperature sensor, but it could be others. So I'm gonna look at the data that the machine has and see if all the temperatures are showing readings that make sense. So I'm just gonna go into my scan tool, look at the live data, and look at every temperature that I can. And I don't think that the temperature is an issue, because the engine coolant, the engine oil, and the ambient air temperature are all the same, 84.2, and that's about what the temperature is outside right now. So check that off the list of things that is not wrong. Sadly, I am still trying to figure out why this thing won't stay on with the mass airflow sensor plugged in. If you would like to follow along as I continue to troubleshoot this car, hit subscribe. If you would like to see how I got this car and the previous work I've done on it, check out the playlist. Thanks for watching. Take care.